Hey guys, and welcome here to this space. Today I'm sharing with you a class that is themed around creativity. So this is all about really igniting your sense of focus and honing in on your concentration. But at the same time, we're looking at really igniting and shining a light on your imagination, the things that inspire you and get you really passionate and excited, your goals and your hopes and your dreams. So this kind of practice is one where we're igniting energy to draw it upwards. We're wanting to guide up the spine towards the head space. And then alongside the physical movements that help to direct that prana, we're guiding the mindset with visualization, which can be so powerful. So that old saying, where the mind goes, the body flows, we're really applying that here today. So we're going to kick things off with one of my favorites, the Yoga Mudra Seal of Intent. It's a really nice way to just settle in and to connect back mind, body and breath. So doing this from a really comfortable seated position, whatever that might be for you today, we're going to relax the hands either to thighs or knees, and today not connecting the thumb to index finger like we've done previously, but instead just allowing the fingers and the thumbs to be free. Allow your spine here to stack up just nice and easy, relaxing back into the shoulders, softening into your neck. And if you wish to, closing down the eyes. Just for the next moment or two, zoning in on your breath. Try to bring your full focus to the breath. The gentle inhale and exhale. And just noticing if you can slow down and perhaps lengthen the pace a little bit here. No rush, no force. And then on your next gentle inhale, just let your arms float outward and upward. They might just raise to be slightly apart, or you might crisscross at the wrists or the hands. And then from here, they're going to come back behind your body where they can again cross over as you bow forward. Now this first fold is all about yourself, paying respects to yourself, honoring your mind, your body, your breath and your energy. Gently floating the arms back outward and upward. And then as you exhale, allow them to again relax to thighs or knees. Inhale flows once more to sweep out the arms. Rising with the breath. Exhale brings you forward. And as you breathe away, just soft and steady here. Use this time now to pay respects to those around you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, those who hold special importance in your life. Your next inhale brings you out from this. And a soft, easy exhale to release the hands down. One final round here, your timing, let this be your slowest round. We inhale to rise and exhale to fold. And this final round is about paying respects to the world around you, Mother Nature, and anything that you specifically believe in. Inhaling as you rise. And exhale as you settle back to center. And just spend a couple of moments now, again settling into this space, acknowledging your body and your breath. And in this moment, start to think about your goals, your ideas and your aspirations. Imagine them just floating around your mind as pictures, quite vividly. And think about bringing energy to them during this time. Now, if you feel like they are going to pose a distraction to you, just let them float away at this moment. But otherwise, please feel free to keep them at the forefront of your mind as something to focus on. We can wriggle now into the fingers, blink the eyes back into this space. And in that sort of theme of bringing energy upward and allowing it to rise, I'm going to bring you straight away into what's known as hair pose or baby headstand. This is where we're going to be guiding the energy towards the crown of your head by applying very purposeful but positive pressure there. Now, we're going to be placing the head to the ground and allowing that pressure to build gradually. This is not something that you want to feel in your neck, so if at any stage this is feeling uncomfortable in your neck, you would ease off. If you have currently any issues with migraine or tipping your head over, then of course just working to come back a little bit rather than actually applying that pressure. So again, we always work in stages, so you can observe the stage that works best for you. So no matter how you are sitting, just swing your legs back around you now. I like to approach this from a tabletop position, but where we can widen the hands a little bit from the shoulders. What you're going to do here is start to round your back over so that you're facing the very top or crown of your head to your mat. Now that for many people can be enough, that just slight inversion, tilting forward, and by all means feel free to stay here. If this is okay, and moving any hair out of the road or any headbands if you've got anything that would be at the crown of your head, we're going to direct now the top of the head to touch the ground with the support of your hands either side of you still. So your hands are taking majority of the pressure and the weight, and you're just gradually adding the pressure to the top and seeing how it feels. Important to keep your eyes open for this one, so you're just gazing at one spot along the ground, ideally between your big toes. Keep blinking. And if there's no pressure in your neck and all feels good, you can allow the hands to hover, drawing the shoulders back away from your ears and breathing gently. Keeping belly soft, facial muscles soft, and just taking your time here. And a couple of more breaths. And after your next breath out, if the hands have lifted, bring them back to the floor, supporting the weight. Start to take the weight and pressure out of your head so you can roll backwards, more towards the forehead a little here. We're going to widen the stance of the knees as you come off the floor with your head. Flatten the tops of the feet so your big toes can touch and just sink back towards your heels. So at no point do you want to jolt up the head. You want to keep nice and low to the ground. Here we're going to bring the forearms down to the floor. Take a few breaths, so we're just allowing the head to be in a slight inversion here. And then ever so gently you can gradually lengthen deeper and deeper into this by sliding the forearms or hands forward and touching now just the forehead lightly down to the ground. Roll the shoulders outward, freeing up the neck, and again take a few gentle breaths. So we're entering now Mendukasana, your beautiful frog stretch. This is where we've got that beautiful expansion, not only in the pelvis, but we're allowing length to travel along the spine, upwards towards the head and beyond towards your fingers. This is a really nice recovery position for hair pose and also for headstand. Just allowing that pressure to come back to a sense of balance. And then nice and slowly walking your hands back in to start to lift up your head again. So that it's a nicer way rather than rushing the head to come out from that, which can often be quite dangerous or it would leave you feeling quite dizzy. Headstand and hair pose are really similar to each other in igniting energy. So if you're needing that pick-me-up or just a little bit of mental clarity, that's a really great one to come into. Not something I would advise for the evening time, but definitely throughout the day. So here we're going to travel now into your downward dog, and in the theme of that, I'm going to navigate around my dog here, Greasy Boy, and approaching from tabletop. So setting the hands up to be under the shoulders, knees back and apart under the hips, tucking the toes under to the floor and rounding over the back and spine. I'm going to lift your knees up here, stretching back through the legs, and then pivot the feet a little further back behind you. So I'm off my mat here purely because Bruce is at the front edge of my mat, so hopefully your feet are still on yours, but of course you can adjust yourself back on if you need to. We're going to cycle the legs here just to loosen up into any tension. Feel free to swivel and sway really lightly through the hips and shoulders. Your eye gaze might flow with that. A few times to both sides. And then arriving back into center gently. Take a few breaths here, pressing down through the heels and drawing the energy of the earth from your hands right the way up to the shoulders, shoulders to hips, and the hips down to heels. Again, your eyes are open and you're gazing at the center point between your big toes. Body is breathing. And encouraging you here to visualize your entire body, the energy pulsating around, and imagine it as a particular color, the first color that comes to your mind. Visualize it quite clearly in your mind, and the longer you are here and the more that you are breathing, you can picture that color becoming more vibrant and more powerful within your body. Now here as an option, we're going to raise up through the heels. Choose a leg that you would like to bend. Raise the foot up a little off the floor. Keeping the knee bent, we're going to just open out into the hip. So perhaps if you've lifted your right leg, you're opening out into the right side, having a look underneath your right arm. And then a gentle rotation coming back to center, and then working that to balance out to the other side. A really beautiful hip opener, but also a little bit of a twist into the spine, igniting the energy there, and then back into center. We're going to gradually from here step forward now with right foot. It's going to land in between your hands and then creep the toes forward. Now once you've settled into that front foot, we're going to pivot the toes on the back foot a little further behind you, entering into runner's lunge here. So a nice deep lunge down through the hips and sinking into that. So allow your breath to be your friend here, keeping you nice and calm and focused. Visualizing where you're feeling this in your body, and imagine sending your breath into those areas. Now in a moment I'm going to encourage you to take the hands off the floor, so if you need to adjust your feet back onto your mat or in any way to support your balance here, please feel free to do that. We're going to then start to climb, sorry Bruce, I think I pinched your foot then, up your shin and thigh, rising up from the floor, hands come together into Anjali and sinking a little deeper. Breathe. We're going to add a little rotation to this as Brucey scratches his face. So we're going to rotate to the right side, placing your left elbow onto the outside of your knee or thigh, and then gazing up towards your right elbow here. So a little bit of work to focus on balance. Breathing as you charge up the spine and the legs. And then rotating back into center, entering again into your runner's lunge. Here we're going to stay nice and low with the hips, firm the core so that you arrive here into plank position, and then ever so gently press back through the hips, adjusting once again for downward dog just for a moment. This becomes your transitionary asana now. Lovely left foot is going to step through, landing, adjusting, get nice and comfortable, sink low, breathe. Observe any tension, particularly if you are working with other exercises or weight training or other forms of training that cause that muscle ache, or perhaps working around an injury. Let your breath just be your friend but also your guide here. Now if you've come quite low into this and you need to adjust your back foot for balance and lifting up,
Please feel free to do so, then walking up gently, sinking low as hands come together. Breathe. Start to rotate to the left side now, so it's your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, gazing up towards your left elbow here. Beautiful work, rotating back to center. We'll keep low with the hips as the hands travel down and stepping left foot back. So arriving into plank, hold it here, feel strong, focused, in control. Now I've got my knees up, but please feel free to place your knees down if you wish to. Holding for 3 more breaths without a rush. And then ever so gently bending down those lovely knees. We're going to sink back for a moment or two towards the heels. Allow the head to rest forward here. Arms coming back behind you and resting the shoulders down into full child's pose, Pranattanasana. Breathe into your back. And picture your lovely breath just massaging into the back body. One more deep breath in and out. Beautiful, and then coming out nice and slow, rolling up through the spine. Now when you come out of that position, we're just going to swing the legs forward, out in front here, ending off in a couple of twists and folds, keeping initially your knees nice and bent. We're going to, I'll face towards you for this one, just so that you can work with me. Going to place here your left elbow on top of your knees, right hand travels behind you. Take a breath in as you lift tall through the spine, and then bending the back elbow just to guide you around a little more deeply into this twist. Picturing the spine, the energy pulsating through the body and the color that you've assigned that energy. The vibrancy continuing to increase in power. Slowly wrapping around back to center and working this to the other side. Breathing gently. Back into center. Softly fold forward here, rounding through the back and spine. Relaxing into your neck and head. And then as you roll up from this, we're going to end our asana movements here with Paschimottanasana, your back extension and spinal invigoration. So lengthening your legs forward here from your hips, keep them slightly apart, anchor down through your heels and draw your toes back towards your face. Shuffle here a little bit through the buttocks, and as you ease from side to side, you can physically move that fleshy part of the buttocks back behind you so that you're sitting nice and firm upon your sitting bones. Going to take a deep breath in here, reach both arms tall on that in breath, and then on the out breath, hinge forward from your hips and be happy with wherever your hands happen to land. There might be the sides of your feet, your legs, or perhaps to the floor. Wherever they land, keep the eye gaze forward for a moment. Take a breath in to reach up a little higher through your chin, your chest, your heart. And then as you exhale, see if you can add a little bend down of the elbows and then soften down through the neck and the head. Just enough that the crown of the head is facing forward towards your toes. And imagine with every breath you're not sinking backwards, but instead you're continuing to guide that energy forward. It's a very subtle adjustment, very subtle motion, but it continues to improve. Your tops of the knees, so your kneecaps here, are facing upward. You can even have a look down at them. And just not letting them roll in. And facial muscles are nice and soft here, even if you're exploring some tension. So tension and finding it is not a bad thing. It's about being reflective upon your body, becoming more in tune with how you are and what you need to focus on. And when we are busy, when we are rushed, when we are caught up in day-to-day life, these are the things that get overlooked. One more deep breath in and out here. And then on your next breath in, raising tall with the arms. And exhaling to release down. So as you touch down from that, encouraging you to enter into a comfortable seated position once again. And as you enter into that position, we're going to place the hands, palms facing upward, again to thighs or knees, elbows rolling in, lifting up through the spine, and hopefully already as you start to settle in, really feeling that beautiful energy that you've created and how powerful that is, even in just a small frame of time or small space of time. So with that in mind, let your eyes close down and just connect to your body. Connect to the energy that you have just generated and how you are in this moment. And then just as you did at the beginning of practice, consider again your aspirations, your goals, your ideas, your dreams. The things that make you feel passionate and joyful. And just one at a time, bring them into your mental space. Breathe life into them. Direct your energy to them. And as you picture these quite clearly in your mind, imagine them not in the future, but imagine them in the present moment. As if they have come to life and they are happening for you right now. Acknowledge how that makes you feel and embrace that energy. Now you may like to keep these vivid images, ideas, pictures in your mind. Or perhaps just say goodbye to them now during this time. And encouraging you from here to bring your hands together, to bow your head forward in honor of yourself and your practice today, igniting your creativity and igniting your mental space. We'll bring this practice to a close with Namaste. Namaste.